or eating dinner or maybe lunch or something. I loved the scene where they first meet, where Captain Marvel and Fury first meet, and he's like, so you're telling me there's an invasion of aliens, and I'm just supposed to believe you're not one of them? And she shoots a photon blast, and she's like, that's a photon blast. And he's like, and she's like, a Skrull couldn't do that. And he's like, and I'm just supposed to take your word for it.
Yeah.
I think that, like, I laughed at that. I went, that's solid.
I did laugh at that. I did.
Let's just talk real quick. Just your basic overview, like we do every time something new comes out. What did you think of it, Tony? Let's start with you.
I'm probably going to be the least liking out of probably us three.
Probably.
I'm not excited to see this movie, and it's not necessarily that I'm not excited.
I'm too excited for Endgame.
Too excited for Endgame.
That's it.
Not really paying attention to what's going to happen.
So if there was no Avengers Endgame this year,
I would be very excited.
A little more excited.
I think I agree with you. I think Marvel shot themselves in the foot.
Or if Captain Marvel had come out before Infinity War, would you be more excited?
It should have happened like that.
I think that, or at the very least, Endgame shouldn't be released this year. It should be released next year.
I don't want to wait another
year.
I
don't want to wait either, but I would be more excited for Captain Marvel if that was the case. Right. Especially because it's, a month and a half after that Endgame comes out?
See, I feel like that with Spider-Man as well.
But that's after.
Right, but I feel like if it was, like, let's say October, November, it'd be easier for me because after Endgame, I'm like, I kind of want a bit of a break before jumping right back into it. But
it does feel like Endgame's going to be the closing of a book.
Right.
Like the closing of a series. And you can start a new series, but you got to wait a little bit.
Give us a little bit of a break and then jump right back into it with your moving forward.
So what was your overall grade for the trailer?
My overall grade...
Before we keep interrupting you more.
You know what? I actually... I went into the original trailer probably at like a 5 or 6.
Which was the worst one of the three. We all agree the first trailer was the worst of the three that have come out.
Second trailer came out. I was probably about a 6. It didn't really amp me up. And I'm probably still at a 6. Even with this trailer. And even in this trailer, like you guys said earlier, you know what? The toy lines usually spoil a lot of what's
And you have the stuff with the cat.
You have the stuff with the cat. You have different outfits. You have that stupid mohawk. I
fully agree with you. I don't think it's going to ruin the movie, but I know I'm going to look at it and go, you don't need that.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to have it very often.
Well, it depends because in the green suit or in the red, white, and blue suit or red, white, and yellow.
No, it's blue. It's red and blue
and yellow.
Yeah,
red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah. That suit.
That suit looks kind of dumb.
Hey.
I know. That's how
we grab hands and become Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's weird, but it works. You know what? But like I said, a lot of toy lines usually spoil it for it. Nothing is really being spoiled because the toy lines already came out for Captain Marvel.
Right.
A lot of Funko figures, a lot of regular action figures, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but nothing's really being spoiled except for the fact that what's his name?
Totally.
I
have no idea what you're
eye patch
talking
about.
Dude. Fury.
Yeah, Nick Fury is young and he has 2 eyes.
Which we already knew.
Yeah, which we already knew. And even going into the trailers, like she loses her memory. She has no recollection of her past life except for being Kree.
Right.
She goes.
Which raises the question. I think you raised this question at one point. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or not. Is she actually just Kree, or is she a human that has Kree blood put in her? You had raised that question at one point to just us as we were talking.
Or if they reveal it, they change her to be a Skrull.
Which I totally don't buy. That's not happening at all.
I don't think so either.
I think it sounds interesting with how they've set up the trailers about them. She doesn't know who she is, and the whole time she thinks she's a Kree.
But a Skrull can't do a photon blast. That is true.
That actually is true.
And she totally does.
No, but if she was genetically enhanced or whatever they explain,
pew pew.
Well, they're going to give her a full backstory.
Whatever the Kree.
If she's a Skrull, if they did the same thing to her like she was when she was a human, but she's a Skrull.
And then she was brainwashed as a Kree or whatever, forgot everything, and now.
That's possible.
I could see them doing something like that. Would I like it? I don't know. I'd have to see it in the movie
don't
first,
think I'd like it.
But I don't know if I think they'd get a lot of bad rap, like with Iron Man 3 when they changed Mandarin.
Right.
I think this I don't know if this would be as bad because not so many people care about Captain
It wouldn't
Marvel.
be as bad, but I see where you're going.
But people would be upset that, oh no, this is not Captain Marvel.
Right.
It's not like you changed a supporting character
right.
in any way. It's not like making Ancient One a woman. Like that.
Right, who cared about that?
People don't care about the Ancient One that much. But Captain Marvel, who's like a premier character of comic book fans...
She's going to be the apex character.
Comic book fans will be upset if they change her origin.
Oh, yeah. I saw this trailer. I sat there and I watched it, and I took two things from it, two big things. One, and we talked about it, we saw some comedy. For the first time, really, in a trailer, we saw some actual...
she didn't smile.
No, but that's fine.
But there was comedy, yes.
But there was comedy. And I think that might be more the comedy that they go with, that they might go, since she's not been on Earth for so long, and things like that, they might go the comedy route of, since she's not on Earth, she doesn't understand certain things. And so that might cause for some funniness that goes on.
And also, she's a Kree. Kree aren't really known for being funny, really.
Right.
And
she's been brainwashed as whatever her origin, whatever her basic origin is, she has been brainwashed to be a Kree.
Oh, yeah.
So
right.
Whether she's human, Skrull, cat, dog, Titan, who cares? She has been brainwashed to be a Kree. And the second thing that I saw is I finally felt like we got a little bit more power out of her, and not in the funny scene where she shoots the photon blast, but we saw a little bit more of her flying around in space, literally obliterating ships with her photon blast.
Yes.
And I went, okay, that shows that at least there is some power behind her, and they talk about it. I think it's Jude Law's character,
and she can regulate her power as well.
Right. I think it's Jude Law's character that is doing the voiceover at this point. I don't know this for certain, but I think it's Jude Law's character, and talks about she's not as powerful. She's cocky and arrogant and stuff, but she is super powerful. I forget how he words it, but it's basically she's not right now as powerful as she thinks that she is, but she is still uber powerful.
Yes.
I don't remember how they wrote the line or anything like that, but I went, okay, so it appears we're going to get this, lack of a better term, coming of age sort of thing where she's powerful, but by the end of the movie we see her embrace her power, maybe by embracing her humanity as well, or her Skrullness, whatever, by embracing her physical origin as well as the Kree, whether it's Fury that brings it out of her, something, and maybe it's like, that's why she now changes into the blue and red yellow sort of thing, is she's no longer a Kree soldier, which we know is going to happen basically. She's no longer a Kree soldier. She is
a defender.
She's Captain Marvel. She is above everything now as a powerful being in the universe.
She flies away, leaving everyone else to do all the work.
All right, you're going to clean everything up.
It shows up when it's time to check everything out.
Yeah.
I also loved seeing, and Drucker and I talked about this, I loved seeing, I mean, we've already seen Fury, but I thought he looked good. The CGI looks good on him. And I liked seeing Coulson. I thought that looked pretty good.
He only had like one line.
Oh, right. He was in the scene for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But I went, okay, he's here. Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's my only knock on the trailer. And I mentioned this to Drucker, and it's not a knock that I'm like, wow, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
Fury refers to it as S.H.I.E.L.D., which completely destroys what Coulson says in the first Iron Man movie. When it's the strategic homeland intervention, whatever, what S.H.I.E.L.D. actually, what S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for, and he goes, yeah, we're working on a name for it. And Drucker raised this point, he goes, well, maybe he refuses to refer to it as S.H.I.E.L.D. But
and not only that,
Coulson, right? It could be just Coulson being it's not S.H.I.E.L.D.
And not only that, it was like the more modern S.H.I.E.L.D. logo too on the hat.
It's nothing that's going to ruin. It's nothing that's going to ruin anything. But it is a continuity error that could have been easily rectified and not made.
And who knows, the line might not even make it to the movie.
That's true. But it is a continuity. If it's there, it's a continuity error that didn't need to be there, and that's an issue for me. When a continuity error doesn't have to be there, and it's just a slip of a director or a writer or whatever it is not knowing the basic universe.
Right.
Okay, and that is gonna happen when you end up with so many different writers and directors in one universe.
Right.
But that's the only knock I had on the trailer is I went, really, come on, guys. Like, as soon as I heard him say S.H.I.E.L.D., I went, well, that doesn't jive with the very first movie in this entire thing.
Yeah.
So if I could notice it, you'd think somebody else could have. But I'd give the trailer a good 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. And I'm at a 6.5, 7 out of 10 for this movie. I want to go see it, but it's so overshadowed by Endgame that I'm just like, okay,
Give me Endgame.
let's get through this movie so that I can see Endgame. Endgame is what, 4 months away? 4. And I'm just like, okay, let's go.
I am ready.
Let's go. Captain Marvel, thank you for being Captain Marvel. Go home. I'm here for Endgame. I might just sit in the theater for a month and a half. I'm not leaving. Put it on. Put the movie
That's
on.
actually true.
No.
Yeah.
You can't throw me out of here.
3 minutes later. All right, but I'll be back.
I have a tent and a sleeping bag.
Camp outside the movie theater for a month and a half.
This bottle is my urinal.
Sir.
What did you think, Drucker?
I think I'm right there with you. I'll give it maybe a 6 out of 10. Maybe 7. I like the second trailer. This one I think I liked almost as much as the second. Maybe a little more. It showed more humor. I think that was just pure fan service because people complained that
it's not going to be funny enough.
She seemed to lack personality.
Yeah.
Which I think is part of her character. I don't really have an issue with it. But I think they showed off the humor intentionally because they wanted to say, this movie, she's quirky. She's going to have a sense of humor. She's not a dry character, even though she didn't smile. Which again, I still think that's all part of her character.
Right.
I don't think we've seen much of the movie at all. I think they've shown some stuff from later in the movie, unlike with Endgame.
Right. I think that ending. I think the space battle when she's in the red and blue suit is last act thing.
I think it's last act for sure. But I like that they haven't given away a lot.
Right.
We haven't seen a lot of the scroll, other than the scenes that they've already shown, like with the old woman.
Which I still dislike.
Well, technically, the ones where they're coming out of the water in the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that's pretty early.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I still think that's the first...
Because you see the scroll change into the human that they see.
Right.
Who's
but
the
I still think
surfer
that's
or
the
whatever.
same
Yeah.
exact scene from, like, was it the first trailer or whatever?
Or
when
the
you see
photos,
them
the set
coming out.
photos.
Yeah. I still think that's the same exact scene.
It appears to be.
And I still think that's very early in the movie. We don't know a lot about the scrolls, which is fine. I love marketing like this.
I want it to be a secret.
Right. I like it when I'm going into the movie. Yeah, I've seen a few things to know what to expect and to get hyped, which I'm not really that hyped for the movie.
Right.
But going into it, I don't know what's going to happen. Especially with a movie like this where you can pull twists with the scrolls.
Right.
You can pull twists.
It's ready-made.
You can pull twists with her origin. The big character who I'm curious of is Jude Law's character. I think he might have a larger role in this movie.
He's Dumbledore.
Maybe. I think he has a much larger role in this movie than Marvel has let on.
Dumbledore.
They've been, and mostly because they've been very secretive about who he was playing for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, from what I've heard, for people
He plays the one that
who
beats up Brie Larson.
Yeah.
From what I've read and people who have seen, not necessarily the film, but they were at the film. Have said that Jude Law actually does have a huger role than everybody, a bigger role than everyone anticipates. But from what I've heard, they're going to change up the original origin story for Captain Marvel to fit this particular movie, and that's okay.
Yeah, because in every movie they've shown creative license and stuff like that to make things fit what they need.
They've shown they're not following the comics.
Right, they
Which
take
is awesome.
inspiration from the comics, but they don't follow them to a T. I don't know. Just last question on Captain Marvel before we head over to Feige.
I feel like it's the same thing it had with Black Panther. Black Panther struggled. Well, not financially, but for us, the hype train struggled with it.
Right, we weren't going to go see it opening night. No. And then we were like, yeah, let's go see it,
but
a week before.
I do feel like this could be a similar movie in that the trailers didn't really
do it justice.
They don't do it justice.
But when we went and saw Black Panther, we loved it.
Yeah.
You know, it kept out of our top 5 with movies only because the others were just a little better. But we loved it. And I have a feeling Captain Marvel could be the same, where the trailers weren't very good for the movie, but when we go see it, we might walk out loving it.
Who's a Skrull?
Who's a Skrull?
You get one person in this movie is a Skrull. One person we know of, because there might be the Prime Minister of Uzbekistan that ends up being a Skrull. Who knows? But if it's not Uzbekistan,
I'm putting my money on Coulson, actually.
See, that's the safe bet to me, and the one that I was thinking, because it's not going to be Fury. I don't think it'll be Fury. I think Fury loses his eye to a Skrull.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be Coulson as a Skrull who takes his eye.
Yeah, I agree.
That'd be
that
like
is exactly what I was thinking.
That'd be my high money bet right there.
All right, thank you, Drucker.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer.
I was leaning towards Coulson, but I don't want to say.
I mean, you could take Coulson. We can all take.